Imagine, the world's most powerful music couple built on secrets so dark, they could destroy everything. What if I told you? Insiders claim Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage is nothing like you think and the truth involves other men and other women. This is where the story begins. That moment when Diddy smacked Jay-Z on stage. Some called it playful. But insiders say it was a clue to a secret life that's been hidden for decades. And now Rihanna's own ex-publicist says he saw it all with his own eyes. For years, people dismissed the rumors about Jay-Z and Beyoncé. But what if I told you? An industry insider is now naming names, revealing private encounters, and claiming the marriage you've always seen is just an illusion. From what insiders say, Jay-Z has a habit of watching Beyoncé with other men, including names like Ray J. But before we get into that, remember that old clip of Diddy smacking Jay-Z on stage? The one where it looked like more than just playful fun? Well, some people always felt that moment was suspicious, and now it seems they might not have been wrong. Rihanna's former manager has come forward in an interview, making some bold claims about Jay-Z's private life. According to Jonathan Hay, Jay-Z has allegedly been involved with men, and Beyoncé is fully aware of it because, as he claims, she is also a closeted lesbian. This is not a brand new rumor. In fact, singer Jaguar Wright has been saying this for years. She has spoken openly in interviews, podcasts, and live streams, accusing both Jay-Z and Beyoncé of living a double life. But for a long time, many dismissed her as someone chasing attention or stirring controversy. People called her a liar, a troublemaker, and even unstable. Now, with Jonathan stepping forward and making his own bold statements, some believe that Jaguar may have been telling the truth all along. It is not just the fact that both of them have made similar claims. It is that Jonathan claims to have personally witnessed situations that back them up. That is why this latest development has sparked so much discussion. The first time fans started openly questioning Jay-Z's sexuality was years ago, when a certain clip of him and Diddy went viral. In that footage, Diddy was on stage with Jay, and in front of cameras and an audience, he smacked Jay on the backside, not just once, but multiple times. What made it even more notable was Jay-Z's reaction. Instead of showing discomfort or surprise, he laughed and appeared unbothered, even amused. For many, it was just a harmless moment between friends in the entertainment industry. But for others, it raised questions. Those questions only grew louder after a 2012 interview in which Jay-Z publicly praised President Barack Obama for his decision to support same-sex marriage. Jay spoke in a way that some found unusually heartfelt and personal for a celebrity of his stature. He said that people should be free to love whoever they choose and that discriminating against the LGBTQ community was no different than discriminating against black people. His exact words compared the fight for same-sex marriage to the fight against racial prejudice, calling it discrimination, plain and simple. He added that supporting gay marriage was the right thing to do, whether or not it cost Obama votes, and that it was not about politics, it was about humanity. While there is nothing controversial about supporting equality, the passion in his statement made some observers wonder if he was speaking from personal experience or deeper understanding. Then, in 2018, Jay-Z shared something very personal about his own family that added another layer to the conversation. In an interview, he revealed that his mother had come out to him as a lesbian. He described the moment as one of the happiest of his life, saying he cried tears of joy because she was finally free to live her truth. In his song Smile, he opened up about how she had been forced to hide her sexuality for years, raising 4 children while pretending to be someone she was not. He rapped about the pain and loneliness she experienced, comparing her hidden identity to a role she was forced to play. This revelation strengthened his image as a supporter of LGBTQ rights, but for some, it also became another reason to believe the rumors about him. They argued that his advocacy, his openness about his mother's sexuality, and his acceptance might also reflect his own experiences. Beyond interviews and family stories, there is also Jay-Z's well-documented admiration for the late artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat, a groundbreaking painter in the 1980s, was rumored to be bisexual. Jay adopted Basquiat's iconic hairstyle, purchased one of his paintings for over $4 million in 2013, and referenced him repeatedly in his lyrics. While admiring an artist does not mean sharing his sexuality, gossip blogs and conspiracy-minded fans pointed to this as another clue. They speculated that Jay saw himself in Basquiat not just as an artist, but in other personal ways as well. Jonathan's recent claims have reignited all of these talking points. He insists he has seen things with his own eyes, including situations involving Jay-Z and transgender women. According to him, Jay was fully aware of their identity. He says this allegedly happened during a tour, possibly the backstage tours with DMX and other artists. Jonathan describes the encounter as unmistakable, emphasizing that at the time, gender-affirming surgeries were less common and easier to recognize. He also alleges that Jay hosted Freakoff's wild, private encounters similar to those Diddy was accused of having with Cassie. In these scenarios, Jonathan claims Jay would invite other men to be intimate with Beyoncé while he watched, recorded, and even pleasured himself. One of those men, according to Jonathan, was Ray J, and he says Ray had been with Beyoncé even before she married Jay. The internet has been buzzing with reactions. Some people think Jonathan is telling the truth, pointing out that he has been making these claims for years. He didn't just come out with this, one person commented. Jonathan's been speaking on him for a long time. So has Nas people. Need to stop worshipping celebrities? You don't really know them. Others note that Jay-Z's brand is tied to his street image in the black community. Admitting to bisexuality or any non-traditional sexual behavior, they argue, could damage the empire he has built. The reason they hide it, one commenter wrote, is because the money machine relies on Jay-Z being seen as street. Still, there are also those who warn Jonathan to be careful. Without concrete proof, videos, photos, or credible witnesses, making such statements could lead to legal trouble. If Jay-Z chose to sue, Jonathan would need to show evidence strong enough to hold up in court. But Jonathan himself seems confident. He has repeatedly said he does not need to use the word allegedly, because he knows what he saw. This is why the story continues to gain traction. It is not just another rumor recycled by gossip sites, it is a claim being made by someone who worked closely in the music industry and says he witnessed events firsthand. Whether the public believes him or not, the conversation has already shifted. The mix of past interviews, old viral clips, long-running rumors, and new accusations has created a wave of speculation that will be hard to quiet down. The real question now is whether Jonathan will present the receipts he insists he has. If he does, this could become one of the most explosive celebrity scandals in years. And if he does not, it will join the long list of unproven but unforgettable rumors that follow stars like shadows, always there, even if never fully seen. In 2018, Jay revealed he cried with happiness when his mother came out as a lesbian after years of hiding it. In his music, he described her struggle with secrecy and the pain it caused. People also point to his admiration for late artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was rumored to be bisexual. Jay adopted Basquiat's hairstyle, bought one of his paintings for over $4 million, and referenced him in his songs. The latest twist came when Rihanna's ex-publicist, Jonathan Hay, claimed he personally saw things during his time managing her. He said both Jay-Z and DJ Khaled were known behind the scenes for bisexual encounters, and he was surprised they had not spoken publicly about it by now. When Jonathan Hay was asked if he wanted to use the word allegedly to protect himself legally, his response was direct and unshaken. No, he said firmly. I would say allegedly, if it was allegedly. DJ Khaled has 100% been involved. There was no hesitation in his voice. Jonathan claimed that back in 2016, while working on a show in Miami, he personally witnessed Khaled openly spending time with another man in a way that left no doubt about their romantic connection. He was gay, Jonathan stated plainly. No one told me to keep quiet or to avoid talking about it, which is strange. That should be public knowledge. This was not just an offhand comment. It was part of a much larger set of claims Jonathan has been making about some of the most powerful figures in the music industry, and in his eyes, Jay-Z belongs in the same category. According to Jonathan, Jay-Z is without question involved in similar activities. He says he has witnessed it himself, not through rumors or secondhand gossip, but with his own eyes. Jonathan went on to make an even more specific claim, that he saw Jay-Z with a transgender woman. This was not a case of mistaken identity. He insisted Jay knew exactly who she was. Jonathan explained that this encounter allegedly happened during one of Jay's tours, possibly the famous backstage tours with DMX, Method Man, Redman, and other major names in hip-hop. He could not recall the exact year, but he remembered the setting and the people present. What stood out to him most was that it was unmistakable. Back then, he said gender-affirming surgeries and modern transitioning techniques were not as advanced as they are today. In his view, it would have been much easier for anyone to tell that she was transgender. You could clearly see, Jonathan recalled. It wasn't something you'd miss or be confused about. Jonathan framed the story not as a one-off incident, but as part of a pattern. He has often described the entertainment industry as a place where much happens behind the scenes that the public never hears about unless someone like him decides to speak up. He claims that, much like other high-profile figures, Jay-Z has been part of private encounters and arrangements that are carefully kept away from public view. He also pointed out that these situations took place while Jay was already married to Beyoncé. That is what he says makes the story even more explosive. The idea that the power couple's marriage, which has been sold to the public as a near-perfect union, may actually be built on an understanding that allows for private activities outside the relationship. Jonathan has suggested before that Beyoncé may be aware of Jay's behavior and possibly even accepting of it. For him, this is not just about sensational gossip. He claims it is about truth-telling in an industry built on image and branding. In his view, fans deserve to know that the personas and relationships they see in the media are often carefully crafted performances. People think they know these celebrities, he has said, but they only know what the machine allows them to see. Still, the claim about the transgender woman is the detail that has sparked the most debate. Some believe Jonathan's story, because of his long-standing ties to the music industry and his history of making similar statements. Others question his motives and point out that without concrete proof, photos, videos, or corroborating witnesses, such allegations are impossible to verify. Jonathan, however, remains confident. He has said in multiple interviews that he does not need to hide behind cautious language because he knows what he saw. For him, the events were real, and the memory of them is clear. He has also hinted that there are others in the industry who are aware of the same incidents but choose to remain silent, either out of loyalty or fear of retaliation. To understand the weight of these claims, it is important to remember the environment in which they are being made. Jay-Z is not just another artist, he is one of the most successful and influential figures in music history. His career spans decades, his business empire is vast, and his image as a self-made mogul is deeply tied to his reputation. Any allegations about his private life, especially ones that challenge his public persona, are bound to cause controversy. For DJ Khaled, the story carries its own complications. Known for his high-energy personality, family-focused image, and We the Best branding, he has built a career that thrives on positivity and mainstream appeal. Jonathan's claim that Khaled was openly involved with another man in 2016 directly challenges that image. The fact that, according to Jonathan, no one warned him to keep quiet at the time makes the claim even more unusual. These kinds of stories live in a complicated space between truth, perception, and speculation. Without hard evidence, they remain allegations, no matter how confidently they are told. But in the world of celebrity culture, where mystery often adds to a star's allure, even unproven claims can take on a life of their own. Social media users pick them apart, fans defend their idols, and critics point to them as proof that the entertainment industry is full of secrets. Whether Jonathan is seen as a whistleblower or a provocateur depends largely on the listener. Some believe he is brave for speaking out about what he has witnessed, refusing to soften his words with allegedly. Others see him as stirring controversy without offering tangible proof, potentially putting himself at legal risk in the process. What cannot be denied is that his statements have reignited conversations about sexuality, privacy, and the gap between a celebrity's public image and private reality. In a culture that thrives on both idolizing and dissecting its stars, stories like these do not fade quickly. They echo, they get repeated, and they keep fans wondering just how much of what they see is real, and how much is carefully curated. Jonathan did not end his claims there. He went even further, saying that Jay had organized private, secretive gatherings he called freak-offs, comparing them to the ones Diddy allegedly had with Cassie. According to Jonathan, these events were not just wild parties, they were disturbing situations where Jay would invite other men to be intimate with Beyoncé while he sat nearby, watching the entire thing. He claimed Jay would also record the acts and touch himself during these encounters. Jonathan did not stop at that shocking detail. He even named one of the men he said took part, Ray J. According to him, Ray J had supposedly been involved with Beyoncé even before she married Jay. This part of the story quickly set the internet on fire, with many debating whether there was any truth to it or if it was just another wild rumor. What made people take Jonathan's words more seriously was his history of making similar accusations about other celebrities. He had previously accused DJ Khaled of being involved in the same kind of activities, and there had already been whispers about Khaled's alleged connections to such behavior. For some, this made Jonathan's latest claims seem more believable. His credibility became an even bigger talking point after an old police video resurfaced. It came from his 2018 arrest, where he was recorded during an interrogation. In that footage, Jonathan calmly told officers that several well-known celebrities were part of sexual events arranged by Diddy. The clip spread quickly online, reigniting debates about whether Jonathan was exposing hidden truths or simply creating attention-grabbing stories. Supporters argued that his consistency over the years, naming similar names in different situations, suggested he might actually be telling the truth. Critics, however, pointed out that his legal troubles and willingness to speak about high-profile figures could mean he was chasing fame or trying to damage reputations. Don't matter where people stood. One thing was certain: his words stirred a storm. The allegations touched on powerful names in the music industry, fueling conversations about what really happens behind the closed doors of celebrity life. And while no hard evidence was presented, the combination of shocking claims, familiar names, and an already controversial history kept Jonathan and his accusations firmly in the spotlight. Jonathan claimed Diddy belonged to the Bull, which he described as a secretive, powerful branch of the entertainment industry tied to the Illuminati. He alleged that during his time working for Diddy and Cassie, he had about 15 encounters arranged by Diddy himself. He said Diddy often conducted business calls on speakerphone, allowing Jonathan to overhear private matters. Jonathan described feeling like a slave to the arrangement. To conceal the true sexual orientations of both partners had been circulating long before Jonathan's comments. Many of these allegations were amplified by singer Jaguar Wright, who had built a reputation for making blunt and controversial statements about industry figures. Jaguar had, on multiple occasions, painted Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship as a calculated business partnership rather than a romantic union. These theories, while never backed by hard proof, have been kept alive by a combination of insider gossip, cryptic social media posts, and moments in public appearances that some fans interpret as clues. For years, conspiracy-style discussions online have dissected everything from song lyrics to body language, with believers insisting there is more beneath the surface than the couple publicly admits. Jonathan's remarks, paired with the ongoing whispers from figures like Jaguar Wright, reignited interest in these theories, sparking fresh waves of speculation across blogs, podcasts, and social media platforms. Supporters of the rumors argue that powerful figures in the entertainment industry have the means to control narratives and keep personal truths hidden, while critics see these claims as unfounded attempts to tarnish reputations for attention. Regardless of where the public stands, Jonathan's willingness to speak so directly about such controversial topics ensured that his words would not go unnoticed. In an industry where image is everything, such accusations, whether true or not, have the power to cast long shadows over even the brightest stars. Now, Jonathan's comments have reignited the conversation. Some warn that Rihanna's former publicist should be careful, because if he does not have proof of the claims he is making, and Jay-Z decides to sue, the situation could get serious. But Jonathan insists he does not need to say allegedly because he is certain about what he knows. The public reaction has been mixed, though many believe there may be truth to the claims. One person pointed out, Jonathan didn't just bring this up now, he's been saying it for years. So has Nas. People should stop worshipping celebrities. You don't really know them. Another comment reminded readers that Jazzy's mother is openly gay, that Jay has been a strong LGBTQ+ supporter for years, and that there have been rumors about him and music executive Liar Cohen for decades. According to this theory, they hide it because Jay's brand and influence depend on maintaining a certain street image in the black community. Now, the big question is, will Jonathan produce the proof he claims to have? And if he does, what will it mean for Jay-Z's legacy?